Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? It is Kyle and Mike from the Fantasy Phenom. Switching things up on you guys a little bit, man. We got day shows, night shows, during the game shows. We weren't able to do a late night show tonight, so figured why not do a show during the games? Have some fun.
Yeah, it was either during the games or not at all. So this is it.
Figured
We
during
just
the
we
games.
waited we waited for the halftime to start with the Nets game and pumping this one in. So
He said
thank you
we
for tuning in.
he said we waited for
Thank,
the Nets game halftime.
we did definitely, yeah. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for listening to us. Um,
Oh
uh,
man.
Hoping to bring you to the cash line on Sunday.
I'm still dying over the fact that the Nets are important enough that we waited for their halftime.
Yeah, they're a pretty big deal, man. They're playing a good game today too. They got some confidence on this road trip, I feel like.
So let's talk about DeMar DeRozan for a minute. That guy, if it wasn't for LeBron James being out, which by the way, I just told you guys I had a gut feeling, man. And then another thing that's huge, I saw that Vegas line move, and there was no way Miami was favored by one without one of those guys sitting. And I'm telling you, Vegas knows. Vegas knows. And when I saw that money line and the point spread shoot to Miami -1, someone had to sit. So
Yeah, we've seen that too before. When the Vegas line starts to move, I mean, all day it was somewhat moving in that direction too.
yep.
Kind of had an idea. I didn't get a chance to play any of the early slate, but it seems like it would have been some easy money with people playing all the Cavs guys.
Dude, LeBron was 60% owned and Kyrie was 40% owned.
Wow.
I mean, it was essentially if you didn't cash, and you with rostering neither of those guys, poor.
I just can't believe DeRozan, man. Not even 20 points. I don't think he's done that at all this whole season.
Tony Snell of all people locked him up. I couldn't believe it. Tony Snell sucks. He's a terrible.
Was he
player.
like? Were they playing one-on-one defense together?
Essentially, Tony Snell was literally just locking him up. It was ridiculous.
Huh.
Absolutely.
That. Nothing about that makes sense to me. Like.
And of course, Giannis
Again, I
goes
said it
out
last
and has
night.
a
He was
nice
100% my lock. He was the first player I wanted to play. I mean, yeah, sure, he's like essentially the only guy they got, but trusting Jason Kidd to game plan against that doesn't make any sense to me anyway. And again, just goes to show you that this type of thing happens. I mean, somehow I'm still cashing though right now with him in my lineup, thanks to some nice performances from Kemba and Kawhi going on at the moment.
Also, Gary Harris, shout out to him. Absolutely balling right now. 2.5 points.
I played Gallo. He's doing all right.
Yeah, that was your sneaky call.
31.25.
But yeah, man, not too much going on today. Overall, disappointing main and late slate. Actually, late slate's doing well. Speaking of it, I actually have. I don't remember who. I can actually pull up the name, but someone is in first in my GPP right now with the main slate. It is.
Got the logo going too.
Yep, logo going. There's no name, but it's I am becomes L. I am becomes. I am's become L in Slack. But shout out to him. He's cashing first place right now. Hope that holds up. Some other news. Dan the man in Slack. We talked this morning and he was like, "Yo, Dellavedova or Ish Smith?" I was like, "Yeah, over Ish, man. Don't even risk it with Dellavedova." Ish Smith goes out, has a really nice game. Dan cashed nicely. And then another guy I give a lot of credit to is his name is JRG in Slack. JG is his Slack name. And he sent a lineup over to me, and he was like, "Yo, what do you think?" And I was like, "Man, that's really risky." I was like, "One of my favorite things to do is start with a low floor." He went back, revamped his lineup, and he's currently sitting at $500 in a GPP. He said the very first play he started with was Tyler Johnson. So shout out to you, man. Awesome job constructing that lineup.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, we could say who's in first place right now in the contest, but I don't see how that would make any.
Yeah, that doesn't really serve any purpose.
It doesn't like make a difference. But so yeah, tomorrow's Sunday. We have
7 games total.
7 games. I was going to say before that, we have NASCAR going, so if you wanted to try your hand at NASCAR and you're in the Slack group, make sure you join the free contest. We also, again, we have 2 slates tomorrow. We have a main slate and then an early slate that's not included in any of the other ones. So it's 7 games total, 5 in the main. I think FanDuel will probably be the same, unless they do it all day. But they haven't been doing all day lately, have they?
No, it's FanDuel's pretty much gone away from that, man. It's all they broke it up, so we got the 2 early games and the 5 late games. Not broken up at all.
Cool deal.
So all right, well let's start with the 2 early games. Golden, actually, hold on one second. Let me. I guess it would help for you guys to be able to see the sheet, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I got the game on behind me. Let me know if that's bothersome. I guess you can't really see it that well.
Is it a copyright issue?
I don't know. Is it?
Streaming a game? Might be.
Might be. The Nets are down by 4.
Uh-oh. All right, well, we got Golden State, New York, and Indy, Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. That's the early games, correct? That's the early games, correct? Yeah, it is. Okay. Good.
It is, yeah.
I just don't want to talk about the wrong games.
However, the Golden State New York game is 2.5 hours after lock.
Do you see any news that could potentially cause any concern there? I don't think there's anything.
Willie Hernan-Gomez is considered probable. He is limited in practice today, so we've seen stranger things happen than listing him as probable and them waiting until the last minute and them saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, Derrick Rose is in Chicago." Or no, we don't know where Derrick Rose is.
Almost made me spit out my coffee.
With the Knicks, you never know.
Nah, that's 100% true. Steph Curry a lock tomorrow on the early slate?
I think so.
You know who I like, though? On the flip side, I like Derrick Rose tomorrow, man. There's no...
Yeah, I like Derrick Rose, too.
No Brandon Jennings. I don't know. Against Steph Curry defense, I like Derrick Rose tomorrow. And
so looking at usage numbers with Curry, I remember I mentioned this a couple days ago. So he had a plus 9% usage in the last game based on his season average without Kevin Durant. So he had a usage rate of 37.5 in that last game versus Chicago. I looked at what he did last season overall, and it was at 32.6, which is a 4-point increase than this season. So I would say going forward, his usage rate is going to be higher. So I expect his fantasy production to increase and his price to increase as they compete down the stretch here, especially against New York. We tend to avoid Clay on the road. New York is bottom 6 in the last 10 against point guards and DVP. So, yeah, I think everything's somewhat pointing to Steph.
Definitely have to look at him at least. Minnesota, San Antonio's in OT. They're tied at 83 to end the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah. Derrick Rose, he should probably draw Clay defense, I would imagine. Not that that's terrible, but for me with Rose, the fact that there's really no paint presence in Golden State makes me kind of like him, The fact that he'll get to the rim, draw fouls, get to the line. And he's scored in double figures in 9 straight games, so 30.1 DraftKings points in each of the last, or average over the last 5. I like Rose at that price point over Schroeder.
So I was going to ask you then, what about Jeff Teague and Dennis Schroeder?
So Jeff Teague going back to Atlanta for the first time.
Yep. So here's what I was thinking. I almost fade Curry and go Teague and Rose tomorrow.
There's nobody really else that's high priced on this slate besides Curry. I think it goes Curry then Draymond on DraftKings. So for that reason, I don't know if I would want to not have him because
it depends.
A lot of people are just going to start their lineups that way, and I don't know that he's a good fade in my opinion. I think so. Would you go Teague over Rose?
Over Rose, probably.
I think I do too. 43.5 versus Atlanta earlier this year. And he's had a couple 40-point games recently. He had one against Houston, but that was his first since the 8th of February. That was against Cleveland. So both those are plus matchups. This is probably a plus matchup for him.
So we
I
talked
think he's
about
got a good chance to get to 40.
we talked about Clay. Obviously, I mean, after him, the next highest shooting guard is Tim Hardaway Jr. and Courtney Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tim Hardaway Jr. tomorrow. I also like Monte Ellis, I think, but I don't know, man. There's really a crapshoot after Klay Thompson in terms of all those guys
Yeah,
are
I
around the
would
same
say
price.
on FanDuel, I think Pat McCaw is the guy.
Interesting.
I'm not high on Courtney Lee. On DraftKings, I think I make the decision between Stuckey, Ellis, and Miles.
You don't think McCaw? You don't think that performance was out of ordinary for him?
It could be, but I mean, he's playing New York, so on a short slate, 2 games like this, I think I'd take that chance over, we've seen pretty much from all this other value what they can do. There still is the potential that we haven't seen his upside yet. You know what I mean? So if they're playing tournaments on this slate,
That's fair.
I like that call.
Any love for Hardaway Jr.?
No.
Good. Obviously, no Durant. Carmelo Anthony against Golden State. Do you look there at all?
I like Melo at home and on a 2-game slate. I don't really think there's really anybody else at small forward except that's like not considered a value. Maybe you could say Bazemore. But who else do you look at small forward?
I agree. I like Melo a lot. I think. See, this is where I think I almost go depending on line of construction. This is why I say I go Teague and Rose. Then I get Melo. I can safely probably roster. I kind of like Kent Bazemore tomorrow too.
I don't think you can fade all of Golden State against New York in this 2-game slate, though.
Fair
I think
point.
you got to pick one guy, don't you?
I like Clay. I would go Clay. I would definitely roster Clay.
Okay, see, I'd rather play Curry and Dre, but I don't know. Melo, to me, his home road splits is intriguing. He averaged 7 more DraftKings points at home. And then I looked it up because they hadn't played this year, New York, or maybe they did and Melo didn't play. I think that's what happened. I think Melo sat that game, or he was hurt. So Melo hasn't played them this year, but in the last 3 years, 6 games against Golden State, slash line of 22, 9, and 4. 36% from the field, 24% from 3, which doesn't look great, but if you put that slash line into fantasy points, it's right about 40 DraftKings points. So again, I think I'd overlook it on a big slate, but I think I wouldn't mind playing him today, and I probably will.
Paul George against Atlanta. Would you go Melo or Paul George? Pretty much the same price.
Melo.
I agree with that. I think Melo's floor. I think they have a similar floor, and probably Melo has higher upside.
I think Tabo's in play as well.
Tabo returned quite a bit on the preliminary optables, for what it's worth.
I might pick between them and Bazemore based on salary or roster construction tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think I might avoid the whole Indiana CJ Monte Ellis and then try and pick between Bazemore and Cephaloshin since they're both guard and forward eligible.
Mm-hmm. On draft
that might be where I go for my value based on if I have the money to get Bazemore, I will. If I don't, I'll just pick Tabo. Haven't built any lineups yet, but I could see that happening.
Yeah, I haven't either, but no, I agree with you. Does this number surprise you? Golden State's DVP over the last 5, 58 DraftKings points versus power forwards and 51 on FanDuel.
No, doesn't surprise me. I mean, Zaza's pretty much been out. McGee is more of a offensive guy than a defensive guy. So Draymond's has kind of had to wear different hats too.
So I guess with that said,
2 of those 5 games have been without Durant too. So
With that said, do you like Kristaps tomorrow? Pretty cheap for what he can do upside wise.
Yeah, but we haven't. When's the last time we saw that upside? It's been a long time, man.
I agree. I mean, he had a nice game last game though, 35 points.
I'm not gonna play him. I think I'm definitely gonna play Draymond tomorrow. The only other guy I'm really
I like Millsap a
that's
lot.
really the only guy. Yeah, I think Millsap is somewhat. I'd rather make the decision between Green and Millsap than I would Green and Porzingis.
I like Millsap tomorrow.
Millsap in 3 straight 40 DraftKings points games. He had 53.5 versus Indiana this season.
Yep.
He's got a +5 home road split as well. I think he's underpriced too.
For what he can do, I agree. Would you go Millsap or Draymond?
That's the question.
It's tough.
I wouldn't mind. If I had to, I wouldn't mind just paying down to Millsap.
I was gonna say you save $1,000 on DraftKings. On FanDuel, you only save 500. But Ilyasova.
Another guy that. Yeah, I was gonna say him and Thad. I think are intriguing tomorrow. I think they're both, especially on DraftKings, they're both cheap.
Yeah, man, we're thinking alike. I like Ilyasova tomorrow. I like Thad. Like I could see Thad, but what about David West? Are you looking there at all?
No.
No. Okay. Watch out for Ilyasova though.
Yeah, so he's got over 25 minutes each of the last 2 games, pretty much being like the 6th man on this team. So
Ilyasova, if he gets hot, just goes.
they've gone to like a short rotation.
Yep. And then at center, do you play Zaza against New York?
I think he's in play. Yeah.
And then what about Dwight against Indiana? Or Miles Turner? I like Miles Turner tomorrow, actually.
I think on FanDuel I'm gonna just go Dwight, but on DraftKings I mean with all this dual position eligibility, I think I'll probably play a center that's it's a non-traditional center, such as Draymond, you know.
The guy that you can roster with the dual position.
Yeah. So last time these 2 teams played, speaking Atlanta and Indiana, both Millsap and Dwight had 50 DraftKings points. So it can happen. But yeah, Miles Turner's under 6K now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's on a slide, man.
I don't know. The price is intriguing for Miles Turner.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's your short slate. Just those 2 games, nothing too crazy. And then we have 5 games for the main slate. And those... Alright. Starting with Boston and Phoenix, man. This is a very, very stackable game in my opinion. I love me some...
Boston opened at 5.5 point favorites, over under at 226. No real injury news in this game that I'm seeing. Tyler Zeller's doubtful, but that doesn't really make a difference.
Damn it. There goes my sneaky play of the night. I love me some Isaiah Thomas tomorrow, man, and Bledsoe at home. I can look there. I love Bledsoe on DraftKings tomorrow at 8K. I think that's a really depressed price for his upside tomorrow.
I'm gonna look past Bledsoe. He didn't make my player pool. I got Isaiah Thomas in there. I think it should stay close. I mean, Phoenix just beat Oklahoma City and Charlotte at home in the last 2 games, and Bledsoe had, I think, right around 27 minutes in each of those games, with Ulis playing well. So I don't see why they don't stick with that game plan.
So you think Bledsoe's losing out on minutes, or you think
that he's
going forward?
The last 2. As I'm saying, if they keep winning by doing that strategy, I don't see why they would change it. You know.
That's fair. I don't know. I like his upside tomorrow against Isaiah. It's all kind of somewhat contingent on Ulis playing well as well. You know, if Ulis starts to play like shit, you know. What about Isaiah? Do you roster Isaiah tomorrow?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think this game stays close. That's why I like Isaiah.
Yep, 4th quarter Isaiah coming out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do my best to try and get Westbrook and Wall together, but if I can't, you know, I'm down with Isaiah. $200 price drop. Um, he is what it is.
All right, what about this guy? I know we don't like to play him with Boogie and AD, but bro, Drew in LA, point guards eat against LA, man, and there's no denying the numbers there.
I think you can make the same case for D'Angelo Russell. Point guards eat against New Orleans, and I think I'd rather play him just for minutes consistency, role in this offense, and the lack of playmakers. And is on an uptick in minutes and shot attempts and usage. So I think you could say the exact opposite for Drew Holiday.
See, I think on DraftKings that decision is tougher. On FanDuel, the decision is not really difficult at all with the price difference, but I don't know, man. That DVP is juicy, and Holiday's still Holiday, so I don't know. Something to look at. But then again,
Yeah, I mean, you could try and play all three because, I mean,
yeah,
LA is a bottom 5 team in first point guards, power forwards, and center. So the 3 best players, as far as DVP, have the best matchup of the slate. But I don't think it's smart to play all 3.
you'd be surprised. Actually, I mean,
It
again,
could be.
I think it's in play, man. I do think you can do that.
Yeah, you could.
What about Jordan Clarkson? Jordan
Yeah,
Clarkson.
I like Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, he could be sneaky tomorrow.
Yeah, I like him a lot. So Clarkson, 30 minutes in his last 4, 29.8 DraftKings points in his last 4. His field goal attempt average in those 4 games, 16.5, and his season average is 12.4. So he's taking an extra 4 shots a game without Lou Williams in the lineup.
So I was just gonna say that without Lou, we talked about D'Angelo really benefiting, but Jordan Clarkson has been a guy that's kind of quietly benefited from it.
Yeah, they both really have, and with D'Angelo Russell, I mean, 4 straight 30 minutes. That's been the problem with him all year. Is he going to get the minutes? So 4 straight 30+ minutes. His field goal percentage in the last 4 is over 50%. So he's shooting well. That's the 2 things I look for with him. Is he shooting out well recently, and is he getting his minutes recently, and is he in a good matchup? And those all 3 check tomorrow. So I'm into it.
All right, so Russell Westbrook, man, this price is crazy to me. 13-4 on FanDuel on this 5-game slate. That's a steep price to pay. 13K on DraftKings.
Yeah, it'd be ballsy to fade Westbrook tomorrow.
Be ballsy to fade him.
Yeah.
Why do you say that? You don't think you can attain enough points around there for his price tag?
No, the dude is just going off with that Oladipo in this stretch, man. His worst score.
Oladipo's already out.
Yeah, his worst score in his last 5 games is 66 points. So if he gets 66 points and I fade him, I'm pretty pissed.
Yeah, you're kicking yourself
on a 5-game slate. The numbers without Depot in this stretch: averaging 76 DraftKings points, 44.5 usage, 52% usage assist percentage, 38 minutes a game. Just doing it all for his team. And again, did that against Dallas. I mean, he did it against Utah, Phoenix. I mean, it doesn't really matter who he plays, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, he's matchup proof. And I know we didn't like to play point guards against Dallas, but Yogi Ferrell does not worry me one bit.
Yeah, I like to play 3 lineups, and I could see me fading him in a lineup.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty good strategy.
And then we talked about John Wall, man. John Wall, absolutely, man. I played John Wall over Isaiah Thomas tomorrow. I think at home, Isaiah on the road.
Yeah.
I think that I
agree.
I'd pay up to John Wall.
I agree. I don't see why not. Another thing about that OKC Dallas game, it opened as a 1-point. OKC were 1-point underdogs. So this game goes down the stretch the whole game. Just more of a bump for Westbrook. And then you look at this Washington game, and Washington's favored by 10.5 at home. But still, I mean, he's crushed Orlando this year in 2 games, averaging 66 DraftKings points. So essentially, can get you what Westbrook gets you. So
not even fair.
Yeah. So if you fade Westbrook, you better have Wall.
Could you make a case to fade Westbrook and go Wall and Thomas?
I mean, that's what you'd have to do. So
that's what I think as well.
Again.
But then at that point, you're still paying up a lot at point guard. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what people do with their rosters. I'm excited.
It's definitely less ballsy on DraftKings. It'd be more ballsy on FanDuel, I think, to fade Westbrook.
And then George Hill against Sacramento. I think he's someone that you could look at tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I'm higher on Gordon Hayward. And I don't really like to play multiple guys
from Utah.
But yeah, it's tough, man. Utah is tough to play fantasy players. Like, I think you could probably win a lot of money if you would have never played a Utah player this whole season.
Yep, you never lied. So, and then I think you can look at Darren Collison as well. If there's a position to attack Utah, and it's definitely point guard.
Same with Lawson, for that matter. He's cheap.
Yo, Lawson returned quite a bit. And some optimals.
4.1.
Yeah, crazy cheap. Crazy cheap. Devin Booker, Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley's continually seen an increase in minutes, but his price is not increased. And I kind of am on board with this matchup tomorrow.
I'm still waiting for Avery Bradley. I still don't think it's yet. I'm not going to be the guy. Like I said, for the other people, I want to be the guy that has him before his price rises. That's not me with Bradley. Although with Booker at 61 on FanDuel, that's really cheap for him. I don't think I've seen him that cheap in a while. 67, I kind of overlooked him. But at 61,
so what about?
I could change my mind.
Here's another guy I think you have to look at is Marcus Smart at 4,900 on FanDuel.
Yeah, Marcus Smart made the player pool for sure. 24. He's had 24 plus DraftKings points in 9 of his last 10 games. So at 4,900, that's pretty much what you're looking for.
At least.
Still getting his minutes over 30 in the last 5. So should be a good matchup for him to get some peripherals against the Suns.
Yep, definitely looking there.
They're young dudes.
Do you look at either Etuan Moore or Hollis Thompson tomorrow?
I think there's definitely some value there. Hollis Thompson got the start again.
Yep.
For whatever reason. He is minimum salary on DraftKings, so against the Lakers, I think if you're going to take a flyer at any time, it's when you're trying to get Westbrook in your lineup and you're trying to get a cheap starter against a bad team,
Yeah, again, you just talk about, if you're going to roster value, you want some minutes, right? At least give you an opportunity to get points.
Yeah, I think cheap minutes that's pretty much New Orleans right here. You got Hill, Moore, Thompson. They're all like minimum salary.
Seth Curry, if Wes Matthews is back, I think Seth Curry is a comfortable fade for me. But I mean, so here's the thing: if you roster Westbrook tomorrow, I think these guys in the 6,000 range and above, you're gonna get maybe one, right? And if that's the case, I don't think Seth Curry is the guy you pick at that mid-range salary. But if you don't roster Westbrook, I think he's in a good spot against Alex Abrinas.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see what happens if Matthews plays. Right now he's listed as questionable. So that news will not come until 3 hours after lock. So I'm curious. That's really kind of playing into my strategy tomorrow because if he plays, I assume he's going to start. And if he starts, who do you think that they bump out of the lineup? It'd have to be either Curry or Noel or perhaps even Yogi, but
it makes the most sense to bump Curry out.
Right. No, I agree, but just the fact that Curry and Noel have been playing so well.
Yeah, no, it's hard. I don't think you move
But
Noel
because
to
it's
the
tough
bench.
to figure out, it's tough to roster,
I agree. I'm fading most of the OKC or the Dallas situation tomorrow. I don't think the only person I'm really even looking at is Harrison Barnes because I think he's safe.
He played pretty badly though in that last game, but again, it was Memphis.
Yeah.
That was the first game he's played at the 3 in a long time.
I don't know. I just think his role is defined, but with West coming back, that does kind of. Actually, I don't know if it really changes much because Seth still takes his shot. So, but yeah. Bradley Beal against Orlando, definitely looking there.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Yeah, Bradley Beal's on a hot streak. Last 5 games, shooting 53% from the field. He's a plus 11.5 3-point percent shooter at home. Orlando's a bottom 10 DVP. Or no, they're a bottom 10 team in opponent field goal percentage. They allow their opponents to shoot 46%. So that's something I look at with Beal is like, is he going to have a good shooting game, right? Do the numbers line up for Beal to shoot well? Is he on a hot streak? Is he at home? And it all kind of is there.
It does, man. Yeah, no, Beal's in a good spot tomorrow.
You can get some wall exposure, too. If wall ends up going off.
Mm-hmm. Evan Fournier, do you look there at all? I think his price is cheap enough.
I think he's the same price as Jordan Clarkson, and Jordan Clarkson is also shooting guard eligible. And I think I'm gonna rather play Clarkson.
I couldn't do the same method, but on DraftKings I would agree with that. Tyreek against Utah, I think that's a safe fade. Buddy against Utah, that's a safe fade. Rodney Hood's not playing. Do you look at...
He's actually been upgraded to questionable.
Has he?
Yep.
Okay.
So...
If Rodney Hood plays, I mean, if you want to take that risk, he's in a good matchup. Sacramento can't guard anything.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
If he doesn't play, do you look at Joe Johnson, Joe Ingles, or Alec Burks?
Joe Johnson is listed as questionable. I think Ingles is the guy I would look at. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned Gordon Hayward. Oops, hold on. All right, just kidding. Let's sort this by game. Go game by game. Mm-hmm. Boston Phoenix, Jay Crowder, TJ Warren. TJ Warren is safe for minutes, but I don't know how much I like him against Crowder.
Yeah, I don't know how much I like it either. But then again, there's really not much to love mid-range at small forward. I could see myself clicking on him and then clicking off of him while bidding my lineups a bunch.
Here's a guy that's been hot, and no, this isn't my usual love for Jaylen, but Jaylen Brown has been hot. Brad Stevens has clearly said that he has deserved and earned a role in this rotation. So, 3,900. I think there's a spot for him in this game.
Yeah, I think you can look at him too.
Brandon Ingram against New Orleans. Do you look there? I know he had a really bad game last time.
No.
Okay.
No Ingram for me.
4,600 on DraftKings is a definite no, but 36 on FanDuel, that's damn near minimum salary. I think that draws consideration from me. Someone asked Smart over Fournier. Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. But again, that's a GP. I'd play Fournier in tournaments over Smart. Just with Bradley coming back in the rotation and Jaylen Brown needing his minutes, I could see how he'd be more of a cash game play.
It's a fair assessment. I like Smart better for a cash play.
But yeah, Fournier, his floors.
Fournier has a floor of 0. He can go out there and not
I would say it's more like 15, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
being, exaggerating, obviously. Exaggerating. God damn it, Mike. Talked about Harrison Barnes. I think Andre Roberson is a fade for me tomorrow.
So McDermott, man, 2 straight games with 30 plus, like 35 minutes.
Yeah, they obviously traded
for him for a reason. With him.
Yeah,
doing nothing with him. But Dallas is the worst team in the league when it comes to opponent 3-point percentage. If you factor that in with Dougie.
Sorry, just looking at some of the comments here.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm rostering Burks thinking that Hood won't play. But yeah, and then he said I would rather pay the extra $300 for Jaylen. I agree with that.
Over who?
Alec Burks. Jaylen Brown's only $300 more on FanDuel. May as well just pay up. Otto Porter is someone I'm looking at tomorrow, Mike. Otto Porter has been, again, dude, he is killing
up and down.
But he's killing it from 3, man. If Otto Porter is on, you're not stopping him.
He's just so up and down, man. I don't know.
Pure
he
tournament
never makes
play.
It for me to my player pool.
Pure tournament play, but I like it.
Would you rather play him than TJ Warren?
Yes, I would.
Would you rather play... yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, I like Otto over
You
TJ
could
Watt.
go. Would you rather play Porter over Julius Randle?
Mm, what's his price on DraftKings? Randall.
65.
Yes, I would.
What about Aaron Gordon for $1,000 cheaper? Or I'm sorry, 700 cheaper.
Aaron Gordon is 700 cheaper.
And Porter.
Yeah, then I would go Aaron Gordon. He's listed as power forward on FanDuel, so I
Yeah,
don't
he
see
is
him.
too. I was just looking for people at similar price points.
What about Terrence Ross tomorrow? 4,500 on FanDuel. I think I like that.
Yeah, I think I like that too on FanDuel. 55 is a little bit tougher. Just needs to shoot well. It's pretty much what it comes down to.
No, I agree. He is getting the shots, so the opportunities are there. It's just a matter of if he drops them or not.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Oubre, when I'm
Yeah, I
going to
like that.
look there.
45.
Yeah, 45 is very
Yep.
doable. Gordon Hayward, though, 7,500 on DraftKings. I think that is a beautiful price for him against Sacramento.
Yeah, if you look at what Sacramento's DVP against small forwards has been in the last 5 in comparison to what they've done all year, it's like it's a mind-blowing difference.
Well, there's no one to.
They're like they
There's no one.
exactly. They went from like a top 5 team against small forwards to a bottom 5 team against small forwards, with this trade going down, being that they have nobody on the wing.
Yeah, Tyreek, Ben
Um,
McLemore, Buddy Hield. I mean, none of those guys are defenders. And I can't. Gordon Hayward 7,500. That is a really nice price for him. Even 8,000 I can do on
I'm
FanDuel.
just saying. I knew it was bad. I knew that they lost out at small forward, but I didn't know it was that bad. And if you look at, they played I think a couple games against Sacramento already this year. Hayward is averaging 43 and a half DraftKings points. So yeah,
Yeah, no, I definitely like Gordon Hayward. I like your
on
call on him.
50% shooting.
So, I don't think this profiles as an Amir Johnson game tomorrow.
I don't think so either.
So I think he's a safe fade from me. If you were looking at value in that game, I think the Celtics will go smaller tomorrow. Marquise Chris, I don't think I go there. If I'm going to target Boston down low, it's going to be at center. So I would look at, although Allen Williams, man, 6,000 on FanDuel tomorrow. It's a hefty price.
Would you rather? I think I'd rather play Chris over T.J. Warren. I think I can make that call.
Yeah, $1,000 cheaper, better matchup. If I had to pick,
Tournament play.
yeah, pure tournament.
I
Play.
would not consider Chris at all in a cash game as a value, but I like that call. Yeah.
Where we at? Anthony Davis though tomorrow, man. Anthony Davis,
AD,
really good
yep.
matchup. Yep. I think you can roster Anthony, although 11-2, so you're going to have to choose, right? You're not going to get Anthony Davis. You're going to basically have to choose between Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and I guess you can even throw Boogie in that mix, but
John Wall.
John Wall too, yeah. Although you can roster Westbrook and Wall. It was I did it. It's not a cash lineup by any means, I don't think, but
Boogie or Davis, man. Same price on DraftKings.
you know what? If I have to pick, I think I'm going Boogie tomorrow.
That is a really tough one for me. I don't know that I have a solid answer for you. Or even if I gave you a solid answer, it would be a complete guess, and I think anybody that tells you otherwise is lying. I'll give you the numbers. How about that? So against LA this season, both 2 games, Anthony Davis averaging 65 DraftKings points, Cousins averaging 63. Davis averaging 37.5 real-life points, Cousins averaging 33. Lakers are the second worst DVP against power forwards, second worst against centers. So I looked into it to try and find some numbers that changed my mind, and I still couldn't. So both.
Does anyone know what Brooke Lopez's numbers are tonight?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
FanDuel wise, he was 20 points and 5 rebounds. He was my sneaky center of the night. I just want to kind of kill this curse because I'm having bad luck with centers. So I'm really. Cat didn't hit value, correct?
Brook Lopez has 31.5 FanDuel points with 6 minutes left in the game. So
he needs four more for value. Telling you, man, I'm getting there. And I called Marc Gasol tonight. He went off. I called Drummond. That was a good call. Telling you, man, that center curse is being lifted.
There's only 6 minutes left in the game. Someone give me some live feed.
He needs some 4 points.
I'm gonna give me a live feed of the Nets game.
Telling you, man. Hey, yeah.
Pulling it up on my phone.
Jack just said, Kyle, you put me on Marc Gasol and Drummond. Kyle got some center calls right. Let's go.
Oh, boy.
Let's go. Kyle's back.
Damn it. Portland's up 11.
Mike, you had no shot of winning this game. Julius Randle, I don't think I roster him tomorrow. Stay away there. Larry Nance,
they're gonna need his size. I think I look at him in black just because they're gonna need
the size. You right.
And I know last time Boogie played LA, they put Black out there, and Black was in foul trouble the whole game.
Oh, Boogie absolutely bodied him. Yeah.
So that's the only reason Nance ended up playing. I think he actually fouled out of that game, Black.
Do you like Nance?
But still, I mean, the fact that was the game plan was to get Black in to body up Boogie. I mean, maybe he doesn't get into foul trouble, has an extra 5 minutes tomorrow.
Do you look at Cantor against Dallas tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely.
So let me ask you this: Cantor or Randall?
I don't know. I'll say Randall.
I go Cantor. I just said Cantor.
Not surprised.
No, it's not a surprise at all. I love Cantor's game, and I think he's safe.
At power forward, I don't really like either of those guys. Honestly, I'm gonna try. I don't know that I'm even gonna get Davis or Boogie, but I'm gonna try.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be tough. I'm paying up.
The guy I'm really looking at tomorrow is Aaron Gordon at 5,400 at power forward. Really like that play tomorrow. And then cheap guys at power forward. Again, we talked about Chris. I like Chris. You can look at Nance, I think.
So another question: AD or Isaiah Thomas tomorrow? I know they're a little different price, but
Davis.
Okay.
Most definitely. And I think I lean Davis over Boogie. I know I just kind of said it was a toss-up, but I think at my gut, I think I'd lead Davis over Boogie.
So I go the opposite. But again, it's pure toss-up, so. Do you look at Taj at all tomorrow, 4,400?
No. I don't like Taj just because that one game, it was Adams in foul trouble, so he played 34 minutes. And kind of got everybody on him, and then we realized that he went back to 19 minutes, in the next game.
What about, Morris, you talked about, I think I'm 100% with you. Aaron Gordon's only 5,200 on FanDuel. I like
Gordon. In the last game, he had 21 and 10 in 32 minutes. I still think he's going to get a larger role in this team down the stretch here.
Yep.
I think him and Vooch are going to be fantasy beneficiaries with Ibaka not being there over the rest of the team.
I love some Aaron Gordon tomorrow, man.
He's an effortless type of player too. He doesn't need his shots to go in. He doesn't. He does kind of need minutes, but I think he gets them. Markieff Morris doesn't really scare me much either.
No,
I think with Morris too. With Markieff, I don't know that he's going to be as much fantasy relevant as he was, because he was like their dude on the second team. He was like the one starter that played the second team, and now with Jennings and Bogdanovich on that second team, I think it negatively affects Morris more so than anybody else.
Just to kind of touch on a couple of things, Mike, because I was looking at it. So just to kind of look ahead, a lot of these GPP optimals have Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins back in them, just because of they're literally projected
DDP.
The exact same. Check this out. Anthony Davis, for those of you that are not pro members, here's your free tip of the day.
Sneak.
Anthony Davis is projected at 55.3 points. Boogie is projected at 53.4.
So that's pretty much right around 5 times value.
Yep. for both of them. So I'll let you make that call there. Terrence Ross has a really nice projection tomorrow. John Wall. So I'll tell you this much, dude. The lineups are all coming back. 2 guys over 10K at least, and then it's filling out the rest. So the studs are all in good matchups tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. So hitting this value is going to be important.
I think Ross is a great one to start with, and I think Gordon is also in a good spot. Ty Lawson.
That's not even value enough for DraftKings. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna get.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna get 2 guys. We're gonna need like 3 guys under 4.5 in your lineup. I'm almost positive if you're gonna get 2 of these studs 10K and above, you're gonna need 3 guys in your lineup that are under 4.5.
Brolo hit value, Mike.
Hey,
Kyle, the center guru.
35 for bro.
So
I don't know if I would be happy with 35 from Brolo, because I'd probably have played him in a tournament lineup, and
yeah, you want
I'd be
more
looking
than that.
for 40. Yeah.
Someone just asked real quick, how do you figure what a person should hit based on their price? Divide that number, move the decimal point 2 figures, and then multiply it by 5. So, or actually, sorry, divide their price by 1,000, and then multiply that number by 5. That's 5 times value, 6 or 6 times value.
Looks like I'm still gonna cash with DeRozan, man. Low cash line tonight.
I envy you, Mike. I do. I am holding on by a thread. I will tell you that much.
You're not the only one, man.
I am literally right. I am the cash line right now. I am the last person on the cash line. So,
Kyle, the cash line, no sir.
What about Derek Favors? Dude's been playing well. Gets Sacramento.
Yeah, I get behind that play.
5,500 on both.
Mm-hmm. I'm off Cauley-Stein against Utah. I'm off Scal against Utah.
Agree with both that.
Yeah.
By the way, CJ was the play over Dame tonight. I missed that one. I was all over Dame.
Kemba was the play tonight.
No,
Mike
Conley was the play, dude. 43 points. And TJ, or not, sorry, Ricky Rubio.
Right.
Ricky Rubio had a triple-double tonight. 40. How many points did he have? Where's he at? I have him somewhere.
51 on DraftKings. It was an overtime game, but still, man. I should have listened to myself.
43 points on FanDuel, yeah. Him and Conley, I had both of them in a lineup with James Harden, who had 56, so.
Yeah, I was high on Rubio, too.
And Marc Gasol had 41, so. Some good plays.
Cool.
I missed on some value, so that's why I'm sitting at the cash line. And then, of course, DeRozan.
Cool.
All right, so.
Centers.
Bro, I think you can look. Call me crazy, man. I think you can look at Al Horford tomorrow.
You're crazy, man.
I knew you were gonna say that. I'm telling you, man.
No, I don't know. I think I get behind it. I'm looking to pay down at center tomorrow, just because if I'm not going Boogie or Davis, I think I'm looking trying to save some money here. So that's why Horford's not really on my radar.
And then Allen Williams, man. See, if I had to pick between Allen Williams and Horford, I think I'd go Horford. But again, I've been.
What about Allen Williams and Nerlens Noel? Same price.
If Nerlens Noel is starting, actually not. No.
And 35 minutes.
Yeah, I think I go. You know, let me say this. Do you think Noel is affected at all by Wesley Matthews coming back?
That remains to be seen, man. We don't even know what Noel can do given 35 minutes. It's never happened in his career. And, again, he's just one of those guys I feel like we're yet to see his upside.
True. That's just my only concern is if Wes Matthews plays tomorrow, how does it affect that rotation, and does it affect Noel at all? Is my, like, you know, do they...
I don't know that it affects Noel. Really, I mean, he only really needs to get to, like, 10 points, you know? Like, he's not an offensive guy. He relies on blocks and rebounds, so... Wes Matthews being there, if anything, it means that he's going to jack up a bunch of shots that miss, so maybe it helps him. I don't know. Minutes-wise, I don't think it really negatively affects him at all.
Nobody's on Horford in the chat, which makes me love him. Means I'm gonna get him.
Another reason I like Noel tomorrow is the fact that he's the same price as Allen Williams, and everybody's like ready to freaking
Yeah, everyone's on Allen Williams, dude. His price is
get
reflecting
Allen Williams into bed or some shit. So the fact that they're the same price, I feel like Noel is the dude.
See, that's where I'm at with Horford, and nobody likes Horford tomorrow, which makes me like him more. I like to be different. We definitely talked about Cousins. I think you can look there for sure. Not much more needs to be said. Noel, you talked about 6,300 on FanDuel, a little more expensive, but I can also get behind that. Steven Adams.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a little. Takes me off him a bit.
Steven Adams against Noel.
Yeah, same price too. So him, Noel, and Adams, man.
Can definitely look there.
Adams has struggled though with Westbrook's recent stretch. He struggled to really get his own.
Yeah, especially with Cantor back. Yeah, it's just a lot of things. What about Vooch against Washington tomorrow?
Yeah, I like Vooch. I think besides Boogie, Vooch and Noel are my two favorites plays at center.
And then Gortat against Vucevic. See, I like Gortat more than Vucevic tomorrow.
The thing with Gortat is that his minutes have been steadily going down, man. Like if Gortat plays 30 minutes like we've seen all season long, then I completely agree with you. But the fact that his minutes with Mahinmi back have gone down to like 26, 28, takes me off of him.
Do you not like a $5,300 price point, though?
It's not too much different. I mean, obviously his price has gone down a bit, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think this game is like going to be close either. So if they really are giving Mahinmi some run and saving Gortat for the playoffs,
he'll immediately be the odd man out.
Yeah.
And then I guess
that makes me I like Mahinmi somewhat at minimum salary. Obviously not really on FanDuel when you only get one center, but
Mahimi's minute, they've been increasing. So Mahimi has been averaging. Let me pull up his minutes. I have him projected between 12 and 18 minutes tomorrow. So take that how you will.
Last two games, I think he's gotten right around 20. I know they're on the rise, whatever it is. Let's see.
And then what about Gobert against Sacramento? That's, I guess, the last center that's really in play for me.
I like that, yeah. But again, I really like Gobert against Brooklyn. It seems like the same type of matchup, right?
Yep.
So I'm not going to go there. It should be a good play. I'll say that.
It should be. On paper it is. But whether in effect it is...
And I'll stick with Hayward off that team.
Yeah, like you mentioned, you're not trying to get too many guys. So yeah, man, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Again,
what about Olynyk? You said this doesn't really profile as a Amir Johnson game.
That's true. That puts Olynyk in play. Yeah, I do think this fits. I think this is it's an Olynyk style game.
I think Olynyk and Tariq Black are my center punts, and then I guess Mahinmi. But no, I think Mahinmi's kind of out.
Nah, don't punt. If you're gonna punt center, just go with Olynyk, like you said.
Yeah, again, I like Black too, though. 3,300.
So yeah, man, I think tomorrow is gonna be. I think it's gonna be a stars and scrubs day, and I think it's gonna be picking the right star, and then of course finding the right value. I mean, that goes without saying. I'm not Nostradamus saying any of that, but it just, you know.
Yep. So to the Phenoms, I challenge you guys, go out and pick your favorite scrub, and tell us why, and do your research. Come in and let us know like which scrub are you set with, and don't let anybody change your mind, and kind of sell us on them. I'll be looking for that.
Interested to see.
Also, something I'm gonna do is I don't know why I never thought of this, but I'm gonna take a picture of my show notes and share it in the Slack group, just so because why not? So
yeah.
So you guys can check out, different stats I got in front of me and somewhat like a player pool too.
You guys are going to be blessed with Mike's show notes.
Show notes. Hashtag show notes.
Yeah, man, as always, thank you guys for the support. It's still coming in, man. You guys are awesome. We have a steady influx of new people every day. Appreciate you guys that have been rocking with us from the beginning, that are showing love to the new guys,
Yeah, for sure.
helping them get acclimated. You guys are as important as anything else, man, because without you guys helping show support and helping people figure out the navigation and kind of how everything goes down, things aren't as smooth. So shout out to all you guys. Appreciate it. And then as always, hit us up on anything, man, in terms of how anything
hit
works.
us up.
Yeah, dude. Lineup construction. I helped a couple people with lineups today, and I love seeing and winning lines. And if you guys hit after we talk or anything, let me know, man, because I love seeing you guys cash. So that's what we're here for. Bring it back, especially when it's a nice payday like we're seeing today.
Yeah, it's been a good day. I think DeRozan really screwed me. I think if he would have went off, I would have had a really nice game, man. But still got some money tonight. Not a big return, but it is what it is. So I'll take it. Hopefully my golf lineup cashes. My first ever golf lineup.
Yeah, and like Mike was saying, we got NASCAR rolling tomorrow, so a bunch of notes in the Slack group there. So make sure you check those out. Jay did a really nice write-up. If you guys have NASCAR knowledge and you enjoy it, get in the Slack group and chop it up with NASCAR, man. We definitely can use some more heads in there.
Or any of these peripheral sports. Also, I mentioned this probably a week ago. It could be even like 2 weeks ago now, but we want to know what your favorite baseball team is. Let us know. So message, if you're in Slack, send us a message. Just let us know what your favorite baseball team is. We got like some ideas flowing about how we can
integrate everything.
Just integrate you guys and have some more fun during baseball season.
Yeah, so baseball is going to be huge. Look forward to some baseball videos in this upcoming week. We're going to try and break down some positions.
Very near future.
Yeah, we're going to try and break down some positions every day.
Yeah, I think the initial goal is to do positional breakdown videos, not really in the sense of DFS, but just in like kind of having like a season outlook for this year. Like who could be a breakout, who could be who's got a new role, who's benefiting from injury, who's on a new team, who stands to increase or decrease based on last year's numbers, things like that.
Yeah, so as always, talk to you guys in Slack. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys a little later. Good luck tomorrow and the rest of tonight.